I wasn't ready to lose him, but they were. At 17, I stood in a sterile hospital corridor, clutching my grandfather's chart as my family walked away. The doctor's words hung heavy. Treatment would cost over $100,000 with less than a 10% chance of survival. My parents didn't flinch. My mother's voice was ice. He's old. Let him go. We're not wasting money on a lost cause. They exchanged glances, then left without a backward look. I stayed, broke and terrified, because he wasn't just an old man, he was my anchor. I drained my savings, signed my future away, and took a job scrubbing hospital floors. They thought I was throwing my life away. They didn't know I was building one. My name was Ellie Harper, and I was alone in that hallway, the echo of their footsteps fading with the elevator's ding. My mother's parting shot stung worst. Stay if you're so noble, but don't expect us to bail you out. The nurse beside me coughed awkwardly. Are you Ellie? I nodded, throat tight. We need someone to sign for his care. Insurance covers 20%. Without treatment, he's got days. Fear clawed at me, but I saw his face in my mind, his crooked smile, his calloused hands teaching me to fix a radio when I was 9. I signed the forms, emptying my $9,800 college fund. By evening, I was mopping floors in the maternity ward. By midnight, I was at his bedside, his frail hand in mine. He didn't wake for 4 days. When he did, his voice was a whisper. You didn't leave. I choked back tears. Never. That night, as machines hummed, I stared out the hospital window at a world that didn't pause. My family thought they'd left me with a dying man. They'd left me with a teacher. The doctors predicted a week. He gave me 6 years. Small signs at first, a steadier grip, a glint in his eye. I read to him nightly, dog-eared sci-fi novels, junk mail, even a car manual. One day, spoon-feeding him soup, he rasped, too bland. I laughed, tears spilling. You're picky now. His smirk was my victory. He grew stronger, defying odds. We moved to a cramped apartment near the hospital, paint peeling, pipes groaning. I worked days, studied nights for my GED, and he taught me to fix things, radios, lamps, lives. Anything broken can be rebuilt, he'd say, handing me a screwdriver. Even you. My family's silence was absolute. My phone plan cut off. My bank account, co-managed by my mother, vanished. Her last text, you chose him. Don't come crawling back. I wept, not for their absence, but for their indifference. Grandpa never badmouthed them. Some people love only when it's convenient, he said. You're better. Money was tight. I skipped lunches so he could eat well. He noticed, so we made a deal. He'd teach me electronics if I charged for repairs. Soon, neighbors brought toasters, fans, even a busted coffee maker. Our fix-it fund shoebox overflowed. By year 2, I was Ellie Harper, the girl who could rewire anything. I earned my GED, then a spot in a tech program. Grandpa's words pushed me, you don't belong where you're born. You belong where you build. I built a life, a purpose. We designed a wearable alert device for seniors, called Lifeline. He tested it, fake tripping in our tiny kitchen, grinning. A local clinic funded our prototype. By year 4, Lifeline was in 5 care homes. By year 6, it protected 8,000 people. Grandpa was my co-founder, my cheerleader. The press called me the janitor who became a CEO. I didn't send the article to my family. I didn't need to. At 90, his health faded gently. He died on a quiet Wednesday, in his favorite armchair, a half-read book in his lap, peace in his eyes. I held his hand, not ready but grateful. The funeral was small, neighbors, early Lifeline staff, no family. Then I heard their shoes on the gravel. My mother, father, and sister, dressed like they'd come for a board meeting. My mother's hug was rehearsed. Ellie, we're family. He'd want us here. I pointed to the chapel. 5 minutes. Later, she cornered me. The estate? There's a will, right? I nodded. You'll see tomorrow. At the lawyer's office, I sat alone, a sealed box before me. They arrived, expectant, smug. The attorney, Ms. Klein, played Grandpa's video. I leave everything, lifeline, my savings, my home, to Ellie Harper. My mother's face twisted. She coerced him. Miss Klein held up a cognitive assessment. Full capacity, no manipulation. Grandpa's voice continued, she gave me 6 years. You gave me nothing. My sister scoffed. She was a cleaner. I stayed silent, clutching his note from the box, asterisk you stayed. You're enough, asterisk. They threatened lawsuits, but the will was ironclad. My mother's final jab, you stole our inheritance. I handed her Grandpa's last letter, you left us, her hands shook. She had no reply. I walked into the sunlight, whole, not because I'd won, but because I'd stayed. Now, the Lifeline Foundation trains abandoned teens and seniors in tech. Our first student built her own alert device, her pride echoing Grandpa's. I live simply, winding his watch daily. Wealth isn't money, it's the years we had, the lives we've touched. They lost him. I found myself. And that's the legacy I carry.